game, 1 p.m. Eastern. Kansas City Chiefs 2-0, 1-0 on the road at the Indianapolis Colts, 0-1-1, 0-0 at home. We're at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. And man, these Colts have worries, enormous worries. I know Frank Reich gets off the slow starts, but this is a little much. Let's take a look at the line history here. The Chiefs opened -6.5 at Pinnacle. Now, this was on Sunday at 7:48 p.m. Opened at -6.5, -106. And it's now -6.5, -102. So there's been a 4-cent move towards the Colts. From a total standpoint, it opened up at 49. It is now at 50, but it's heavily juiced to the under, so it's probably really a 49.5. When we take a look at the cash flow, you have a ton of bets on this game. There's more bets counted on this game than any other. 17,842 tickets in, and 33% of the tickets are on the Colts, but 41% of the cash. So there's some sharp action there. Then you have 60% of the tickets and 94% of the cash on the under. Yeah, it's gone up a point or a half point, depending on where you shop. Birdie says, if Leonard plays, I will be betting the Colts. If he doesn't, I won't. The Chiefs will start with them on extra rest after defeating the Chargers 27-24 at home on Thursday night. Mahomes was 24-35 for 235 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Kelsey led receivers with 5 catches for 51 yards. Justin Watson, 2 for 50 and a touchdown. McCole Hardman caught 3 for 49. Clyde Edwards-Helaire looked good, 8 carries for 74 yards, caught 4 passes for 44 yards. And the whole game changed when Jalen Watson returned the interception, 99 yards for a score. They got 2 sacks and 8 quarterback hits on Justin Herbert. One of those hits by defensive end Mike Dana fractured Herbert's rib cartilage. Dana left in the fourth quarter with a calf injury. Kansas City also has been solid against the run this season, allowing just 3.9 yards per carry. Is it time to panic in Indianapolis? Coming off a discouraging 24-0 shutout loss at Jacksonville, the Colts have not won in Jacksonville since 2014. Matt Ryan looked awful. 16-30, 195 yards, no touchdowns, 3 picks. Ashton Doolin led the receivers with 5 catches for 79 yards. Jonathan Taylor couldn't even get going. 9 carries for 54 yards, caught 1 pass for 9 yards. Got no pressure on Lawrence, 0 sacks, 2 quarterback hits, and they played without 3 key starters. We already heard Birdie talk about all-pro linebacker Shaquille Leonard, but receivers Michael Pittman and rookie Alec Pierce also not in the lineup. Take it away for us, Andy. Chiefs, Colts.
Yeah, it feels like a Colts or nothing. It's a lot of points at home for a team with a good offensive line. You know, we haven't seen it from JT. We haven't seen it from Matt Ryan. And obviously your best wide receiver missed last game, and they looked atrocious on offense against the Jags. It was horrible. Their first 2 games, honestly, have been horrible. Couldn't really get much worse. I guess maybe if you lost the first one, it would have been a little worse. I tend to like this over a little, but there's so many injuries still I'm waiting for in Indianapolis I need to find out about. I lean Indy, but not strong enough conviction to play either one without knowing about Pittman, without knowing about Leonard, without knowing about a few other things. And then also just maybe it's a gross buy low spot, but it's, again, this isn't college football. The difference between the best team in the league and the worst team in the league, at most turns out to be like 15, 18 points. That if there's a really, really horrible team, Indianapolis, their floor is probably middle of the pack team. These teams, so you're saying Kansas City on the road, put it at a neutral, say Kansas City's 9 points better than Indy. That's probably close, but it's a bit high for my liking. It's still early in the season. We got to lean on our priors from last year a little. And Kansas City didn't deserve to win the game last week. They should have lost that game. They were outgained. They had to take the biggest swing in, honestly, all of sports is the 100-yard interception return. The win probability swings harder on that than almost anything, depending on what time of the game it is. So it's a team that, didn't honestly look that great last week against a better opponent. They looked good in week 1, but I'm not sold on the Chiefs yet. It's just such a hard team to take a buy low spot on with Indy. And if Indy doesn't get these injuries right, it's a hard pass for me. So I'm going to watch this one. What did you say the total's been doing on this? I have not paid attention to that. I'm seeing 49s in the market. So maybe it's been bet down a little, but I don't know, kind of wait on that. We'll see what the Kansas City Chiefs game plan is. A little bit more of shorter stuff march down the field. They're not the quick strike offense we've seen. Obviously, their quick strike offense is down in Miami now. So maybe that total's fine. But yeah, Indy or pass for me. And again, waiting for news.
And the Chiefs head to Tampa next week. So it may be somewhat of a tough spot. Noli No says thinking under here. Sammy Calmer says Pittman expected to be back. Gerald Jones says Colts without Pittman are a bottom 5 offense. Jared TG says just feels irresponsible to bet on Indy after seeing them play. I get it though.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. But we're sitting here on Tuesday, 5 days before game time with sharp action on the Colts. This opened at Pinnacle at 49. It's basically a 49.5. It's a very juiced 50. But there are 49s out there. You're right. Bookmaker Bet Chris, there are a couple 49s out there. Damon Santori saying the Colts need Leonard also. But I have to stick with this plan where things have to correlate for me to pull the trigger and not push it or force anything. But in talking about that under, 60% of the tickets, 94% of the cash is on that under. Surprised that the books aren't nervous about it.
Yeah, limits are lower this time of week.
That's true.
I'm not sure how much you can really, even at Chris, who takes pretty big limits on an under right now, $3,000. So they're not taking big money yet. So be interesting to see where this total moves once limits go up on Wednesday.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. There's the chameleon in the house. Thanks for joining us. Mad Capper, Colts money line. Wow.
Sassy.
Wow. And Birdie says it's funny because if the Colts win, they're 1-1-1. All this worry goes away. Colts need this win. But Topset says, why don't we close with this? Can you answer this? What Topset's saying? He says, after what the Bills did, it's pedal to the metal. Mahomes wants and will exploit that. What do you think of that angle that they saw what the Bills have been doing?
I don't know. I worry that the Chiefs have just turned into an NBA team where they understand, like, hey, guess what? We're going to make the playoffs. We probably win our division. We're going to be a top 3 seed. Like we don't need to go pedal to the metal during the regular season like the NBA teams do, where you see this just big chunks of malaise over games that they should win, because all they need to do, let's just get to the playoffs and get it done. And that's what happens after you win a Super Bowl and have had several other close calls. I think it becomes let's get through these 18 weeks healthy, and get to the playoffs, because it's a big challenge. There's a lot of good teams, and suddenly Miami threw their hat in the ring this week too.
I guess I have interest in the Colts.
For sure. If they're fully healthy, it's too big. It should be 6.
And if I don't want to bet the Colts and I have interest in them, I could take the Chiefs team total under 29.5. On the road. Are they going to break 30 on the road here? Maybe they don't need to win this football game. Okay, so I'm going to put Colts and Chiefs team total under.
I like that a lot if Leonard plays, yeah.
Yeah, and Brady says you have to wait for Leonard. Okay, so those are going to be my angles at this point on Tuesday, and we'll see. All right, that was Chiefs, Colts. Andy, you're staying off at this point.
Yep.